Hello everyone, welcome to Sorcerer's Classes. This is Tushar Shaw, and in this video we will be continuing to solve the GATE 2021 CS CY paper. Okay, that we were solving since the last 5 videos, I guess. Okay, so the aptitude part is already solved. We are solving the MCQ part of 1 mark, the of having 1 mark as a full mark and the negative marking being -1/3. So that kind of multiple choice MCQs we were solving since the last videos. Okay, and I guess the only 2 videos more would be required, and then we'll be completing that part, and then we'll be moving on to the MSQ part. Okay, MSQ part of 1 marks obviously. The 2 marks question are still not introduced yet, so we'll be keeping that for later. So in the last video we did till question number 8, so we'll be starting from question number 9 in this case. So the question says that which of the following is a non-heme protein? Okay, a non-heme protein. So I guess I have to draw all the structures. So let me first tell you what a heme is. Okay, so yeah, so this is the kind of the structure of a heme. Hmm, sorry. Okay, so obviously let me just draw the bonds over here. We have this one, then we have this, then we have this, and then we have this one, then this, then here, and then here, and then here. Okay, so this is an heme, this is the structure of a heme molecule. Okay, now in the structures in the options that are given, we are given 4 options, so we have to draw each and every one of them. So let us draw them one by one. Okay, so firstly we are given option A, which is hemoglobin. Okay, so Fe is, I'm sorry, Fe is here, N N N N. Okay, so we have, sorry. So we have double bonds over here, we have it over here, we have over here. Here would be double bond, then here, then here, then here, and then here. Okay, so this is the basic heme protein. Now, obviously, this is I'm just drawing the structure for hemoglobin. Okay, so these are the heme derivatives. Okay, hemoglobin. So it has a heme derivative. So let me draw the exact derivative for you. Uh, Double bond OH, and here there is also one double bond OH. There is one methyl group, and here there is one double bond, and then here is one methyl group, and then here is one double bond, and then here is one methyl group, and obviously here is one methyl group also. Okay, so this is the exact structure of the hemoglobin. Okay, the hemoglobin has this structure. Now in the next option you see that hemocyanin is drawn. So let us draw hemocyanin. This is option A. So hemocyanin, I'll be drawing the short version of hemocyanin just to make you understand. So Cu uh, O O, I'm sorry, Cu. Here we have O. This will be bonded, and this here will be having O, and here will be 3 histidine derivatives. Okay, here also histidine and histidine, where the histidine, let me draw the one structure of histidine, you will be like understanding. So the histidine attachment would be like this. So n is here, here one n is there, and here one double bond is there, here one double bond is there, and this, I'm sorry, here one double bond is there. uh, So this is the bonding of like this is the histidine residue, and from this, in this bond, this is bonded to the copper atoms. Okay, so this one is option B. So this was option B. Now option C says that myoglobin. Okay, so myoglobin is nothing but hemoglobin with derivatives. Okay, like in this case, here would be one R attached, here would be one R attached, here would be one R attached, here would be one R attached. So if R is equal to H, then hemoglobin, and if R is equal to an aromatic species, then myoglobin. Okay. And the last structure, that is cytochrome P50. So let me draw that structure for you too. Um, so basically, the if we attach, I'm not drawing the structure here anymore because it would take quite a lot of time. So obviously, in the like, let me draw it this way. So Fe, N is attached, N is attached, N is here, and N is here. So we have this bonding kind of over here. Okay, so all of them are same as there it is there for hemoglobin, but the only difference, that is this Fe is now attached with an S cysteine residue. Okay, cysteine residue and bonded from the S. Okay, so this type of species is known as cytochrome P50. Okay, cytochrome P50. Now in the P450, I'm sorry, P450. So in the like all of these questions, you can see that hemoglobin has a heme derivative. Myoglobin has a heme derivative. This cytochrome I have not drawn correctly, but I already have told you that this is like more or less has the heme protein, and in the form of the hemoglobin structure. Okay, so this one also has a heme protein. Okay, this one also has a heat. So obviously now we may notice that option B, that is hemocyanin, though it has a name hem in the in the name, but that is not like it does not have any heme proteins in the exact molecule, and therefore option B here would be the correct option. Okay, moving on to the next question. So this one is also another very big question. So let us do that also. So in the like the question says the correct example for a nucleotide is, okay. So let me just tell you first of all that a nucleotide. What is a nucleotide? A nucleotide is a nucleoside attached to one or more phosphate groups. Phosphate groups. Okay, so let us look at the options now. So the first group that is given is first option, that is AMP. So adenosine monophosphate. So let me draw the structure for adenosine monophosphate for you. Um, yeah. So this is a kind of an easy structure, not like the heme ones. So we have one double bond over here. We have this ring as aromatic. Okay. Here we have NH2, and in here we have one phosphate group attached. Okay, so this structure is AMP, adenosine monophosphate. You can see that one phosphate group is there. That is why we have written monophosphate over here. So this is a nucleotide, obviously, because it has a phosphate group. Okay, so this option this is a proper nucleotide. Okay, in the like in the other options, you can see that in RNA uridine. So let me draw the structure of uridine, and then I'll be explaining DNA RNA. Okay. So let me, the structure of uridine is, here N would be there, the attachment would be from N, and here also one NH is there, here one double bond is there, and here one double bond is there. Okay, so this is the uridine structure. Okay, so this has no phosphate group attached, so this is not a not a nucleotide. Okay, in case of DNA and RNA, now these are like extremely big structures. I won't be able to draw this over here. I can draw, but that would take like extreme, like huge amount of time, and would finish the session for this question. So that is the case. So you may just look at the DNA and RNA structures of from Google, or consult whatever textbooks. So you'll be seeing that DNA is double stranded. Okay, DNA is double stranded, and RNA is single stranded. Okay, the major difference where, like, why is DNA and RNA not nucleotides? Because they have phosphodiester linkages. Okay, phosphodiester linkages in between them. That is, like, they have a phosphate group, but they are attached from two sides, making a phosphodiester linkage. They are not exactly phosphate groups. Okay, and the nucleotide is that group which has a exact proper phosphate group, like PO4 3 minus group is there. Okay, PO4 PO4 3 minus. Here you can see that PO4 are there, and if we remove the 2H, we will be having this PO4 3 minus group. So in uridine that is not the case, and in DNA and RNA, though there are phosphate groups, but they are attached in a diester linkage, and therefore this kind of species is not formed. Okay, so that is why the option here will be, the correct option will be option A. Okay, moving on to the next question, which will be probably the last question of this video. So we'll do it like quite quickly. Okay, so question number 11, it says that the equilibrium constant for the reaction given is 3NO gas to N2O gas plus NO2 gas at 25 degree is closest to, like, we have to find out the equilibrium constant value, K value. The delta G value is given to be, delta G naught is given to be minus 104.18 kilojoule, and R needs to be considered 808.314 joule mole inverse Kelvin inverse. Okay, so let me just solve it for you. So we know the very basic formula which relates the delta G and K values. That is delta G, that is the free energy, delta G naught standard free energy, is equal to minus RT ln K equilibrium. Okay, which is the equilibrium constant. So let us put the values over here. So this is given in kilojoules. We have to convert it all of them to joules, because we are taking R and joules also. So minus 104,180 is equal to minus 8.314 into T is given to be 25 degrees. So 25 degrees Celsius is equal to 298 Kelvin. Okay, so this will be equal to into 298 Kelvin. I'm sorry, let us write on the units. I'm sorry, let us not write the units, because we don't need, this is not a subjective question. We do not require to show the units. Just the answer, correct option would do. Okay, so 298 into ln K. Okay, if you just calculate the value, so let me calculate the value. Ln K is equal to minus would cancel out over here. So 104,180 divide by 8.314 divide by 298. This comes out to be 42.0492. Okay, so K will be equal to e to the power 42.0492. Okay, So we have e to the power, where is e to the power? So e to the power 42.0492. Okay, so this comes to be 1.826827, you may say 827 into 10 to the power 80. Okay, this is the value for the equilibrium constant. Now in the question you can see that the options that are given, in the options you can see that one option is 1.8 into 10 to the power minus 18, which is obviously matching with our deduced answer. So option B is that option. So option B here would be the correct option. Okay. So let us end this video here. We did three questions which were like kind of extremely big, but that is okay because we solved quite a lot of we solved a good number of questions, good difficulty questions in this video. So let us end this video here. I guess I'll be seeing you in the next video. Okay, we'll be solving from question number 12 there. Okay, so thank you.